Ethan is on his way to building a very modern looking forehand. He's up through the diamond position. I call this the diamond position. It's very important. It's the rotational version of our ready position into a sideways leg, that's the modern way to hit the ball, right? We set it up here and then we're into some sort of position here. There's all sorts of versions of that, you know, Diafo, Kechanov, but all sorts of versions of that. Sinner, but you've got a nice one growing. The problem is that you're not honoring your diamonds enough. Okay, you're not honoring that rotational position enough, so you're kind of getting into your coil isn't fully set. Often your chest is a little bit open, your left hand isn't utilized correctly because there's work still to be done in making sure that we come into this lifted rotational position that leads into the lag. You want to look at it? Let's look at it. So this is maybe not the concept we're going to get into, but look at what's the God concept out here? What's the most important thing that we want to be doing in terms of tennis? I like it. There's two. Okay, I take it back. There's two God concepts, and I got to maybe watch my phrasing, but there's the two most important concepts outside of just technical development, and there's so much going on there. Is this: we want to hunt the ball at peak of bounce. That's where we want to be. We want to take that ball at the peak. And that's going to give us so many positives. We can name them and we might name them. Okay, the other is we need to work on the skill of concentration. Build a bubble of being here. That's a skill also. As our mind starts to slip, oh man, I'm going to the state fair later or whatever, you know what I mean? So concentration is a skill. The greatest have it, and they have it at a higher level than a lot of us. So it is a skill that we want to develop. But today we're going to talk about, we're going to use peak of bounce is going to be kind of what dictates us into our different stances. If you stand right there for me, buddy. Now, if peak of bounce is here, I'm going to go into a closed stance. Peak of bounce is out here, I'm going to go into an open stance. If peak of bounce is behind me, I'm going to move back into a deep open stance. I'm called a half open, something like that. So let's just look at a little bit of closed stance. Let's look at a little bit of open stance. I should put targets out there, but I'm not going to. For now, what I want you to do is just take the ball down the left road and let's see it. And you got a bunch of time to warm up. Don't even worry, pal. Ready, come get it. Now, first off, I'm loving it. That is the improvement that I'm looking for. So work on it. Let's just do a bunch. If I gave you one more little piece on that, okay, and by one more I mean two more. Not again, what do I do? You know, we talk about it. I look at the pros. The pros and the highest level is what informs us of where the trends are and where we're going with our games. Almost everybody into that diamond position adds a lift. The lift itself helps us lock back into our lag position. If we don't lift, sometimes it gets a little wiggly back there like you're doing right now. Either if you don't put a lift up into this diamond position, you're not able to quickly lock into the lag position, or maybe you're not able to reach that lag position, or maybe the racket head has some inertia and it goes like this. For you, I think when you don't add that proper lift, you don't actually find the most beautiful position. So just make sure, and we'll do it right here. I'm going to have you lift up that diamond a little bit. Two, you just need to hit some balls, but hand pronation needs to clean up, and it needs to clean up in that proper position. Okay, so I'm going to let you do a few right now. Let's see if that gets us where we're going. Hey, looks good. So far, so great. Here we go. Ready? Let's go. Come get it. That's it. Oh my God, I loved it so much more. That's it, pal. That's it. And then keep turning that hand. How's that feel? Better. That looks so cool. Better. That's what I want from the forehand from you. Looks great here. In the speed of the game, and we've talked about that piece before, you lose that somewhat. Yeah, all right. I think you lose it because your base is too casual. And when your base is too casual, it's hard to move through all the pieces. In this scenario that's confined and controlled, that looks wonderful. Make sure, because here's the thing, dude, for you. Biggest thing you got to work on is something that kind of goes off this sort of order. Is you got to get faster, and we've talked about that a little bit and talked about ways to do that. But one of the ways you're going to do that is just to be in a better base. You know, you just got to open up your base and get into everybody got to just get into a more compressed order. If you look at the greatest players in the world, they show you from up here, right? They show you down and go, okay, that looks cool. When they come down to the court level, these guys are like accordions. You need it too. It's going to help you speed up, and it's going to help you move through that diamond into the lag a little bit better. But by the way, I love this. That's just for when you're working, you just got to amplify it. So let's get it. Let's open up the base a little bit. Let's go right now. Come on. Good. You got to lift that diamond though. That's it. That's it. And then turn that hand and keep turning that hand. That's it. Come on. Come on. That's great. That's the change I want from you. Well, let's touch on a couple things because we don't have a ton of time, but let's touch on a couple things. Let's see your open stance now. Same thing, but let's see it in the open stance. How's that feel? Good? That looks good, man. And if you look, he's maybe a month and a half into this move. It looks rad, man. Good, let's go. And let's go deep cross court here. Awesome. Keep lifting that diamond. Because the cool thing, that's awesome, bud. That's cool. The cool thing about lifting the diamond is you don't always have to do it. Look, if ball comes fast at me, I can compress quickly. Just as our standard move when we're working on it, I want to see a better lift and lock into that position. But ball comes really fast. And maybe you grow up and you reduce the level of that lift. That's also okay. I don't think Sinner lifts above his head ever. Fabio Fognini, right? He doesn't dare lift his hands, but almost everybody else having a lift where I say that tip kind of goes above the head. So we'll see how that develops. I like it better now because it gets to what I want, which is let's get that arm in that lagging position back into that lock space back here, not here. Yes, no. Looks great. Here we go. Ready? Let's go. So we're going to go out for the open stance and then up for the closed stance. Ready? Let's go. Hunt it. Come get it, come get it. Great. Keep turning the hand there. Don't stop the hand turn at the end. Good, come on, come get it. That's it. Keep turning the hand. Good. And what I mean by keep turning the hand is this. Don't stop the active pronation here. Keep it going through the finish. We need to accelerate through a pronated line. And so sometimes you're on it and you're making an acceleration and then right about here it just looks like the arm starts to drift. No, don't stop it because we need to continue that process. And if we continue that process, we build a line of acceleration. And we get faster and faster through that line. But if you don't have that line and it drifts, then it's murky business. All right, I love it. Hit me with your question, baby.
Why should we do peek bounce?
That's a great question. Why is peek bounce the best position, right? So let's talk about it. I'll take your racket, okay? First off, okay, let's say peek bounce is right here, right? Where's drop a bounce? Yeah, I'm in a worse position. I'm further back. Let's say peek bounce is right here. Where's my opponent? Say they're right there. Now where are they? They're in a better position. So one, I'm in a better position, they're in a worse position. Two, the higher the ball, the more I can strike through it. The lower the ball, the more I have to add shape, maybe take some pace off. So when I get a drop, not only are they in a better position, I'm in a worse position. Now I've got to take pace off and add shape. So now we're in a more compromised in terms of pace levels. Okay, yeah, we get a little extra topspin. That is the illusion of the drop, by the way. Ooh, I get extra topspin. I don't want to hear it. No, I do want to hear it. But one, you need to get great at creating topspin from the peak, and that comes to that hand pronation. You can create great topspin from this place if you understand hand pronation and acceleration of hand pronation. Two, we have to balance all the dynamics, and we don't want to be a drop taker taking balls down here just so we can get a little bit extra topspin. At least what we view it at that moment, and it's not true actually over time. You can get all the topspin you need from peek bounce. And flattening through balls and creating pace is a great way to do it too. Now, so those are a couple reasons, right? They're in a worse position, I'm in a better position, I get to strike through the ball. Those are great things. Two, if we just look at the physics of it, ball bounces, right? Gets to the peak. What happens? It stops for a second, right? So there's an energy stop right here in terms of the up and down, right? There's this place right here where it stops. So it's also a calmer place to play the ball. Not only that, it anchors us into this game. To have this psychological anchor that we are looking to position ourselves all the time with peek bounce, because one, it is the holy position to make contact. It is a place that we can rest our minds in this game when so much chaos is going on, because I'll tell you what, when the pressure's on, guess what most people want to do? All of us. Unless you're like crazy. You want to get away from that pressure. So what do you want to do? You want to run away. You want to play the drop. You want to avoid the moment of contact. Put yourself in worse and worse position. Start playing more and more conservatively. But if we are top hunter, we're not tennis players, by the way. We are top hunters. If we are a top hunter, we know we've got to go play the top. So even when the pressure's on, we're forced to proactively play the game in a fundamental way. And we use our skills of concentration to continue to play the point by point, and to play that way. And that is the way. Okay, now look, it's big space. Big space. You're not going to get to every top. Not by a chance. but you can hunt every top. We can hunt every peak of bounds. And if we get to the drop, well, we got to add some shape and take some, and it's a great opportunity. If I'm hunting top, I get a ball down here, it's a great opportunity to shape it over my head and create an angle. But there's a difference between hunting tops and getting drops that are natural because of how large the space is to allowing balls to drop and playing in a fearful, conservative way. Hunt the top, baby. Okay, let's lead from that into one more idea with you.